when tyrants tremble, sick with fear, and they hear the death knell ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near. Oh, how can I keep from singing in prison cell and dungeon vile? Our thoughts to them go winging, when friends by shame are undefiled. Tell me, how can I keep from singing? No, 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 no storm's gonna shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. I know love is Lord of heaven and earth. Tell me, how can I keep from singing? How can I keep? How can I keep? How can I keep from singing? How can we keep from singing? My life flows on, an endless song, above earth's lamentations. I hear the real, though far of him, that hails the new creation, above the tumult and the strife. I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. Oh, how can I keep from singing? and they hear the death knell ringing when friends rejoice both far and near. Oh, how can I keep from singing in prison cell and dungeon vile? Our thoughts to them go winging when friends by shame are undefiled. Tell me, how can I keep from singing? No, 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 no storm's gonna shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. I know love is Lord of heaven and earth. Tell me, how can I keep from singing? How can I keep? How can I keep? How can I keep from singing? How can we keep from singing?
Greetings and welcome to Mount Vernon Unitarian Church. I'm the Reverend Christian Schmidt, the interim minister of this congregation. Whether this is your first time with us or your 1001st, know that you are welcome here and we are glad to have you. We are glad we can provide this forum, currently online only, to find comfort and recommit ourselves to the mission of supporting one another in our spiritual journeys, working for justice, caring for the earth, and building the common good. We gather to recommit ourselves to dismantling systems of oppression and injustice each week. It is good to be together. I have two quick announcements. The first is that MVUC will be conducting a search for a new settled minister beginning in the coming year. Over the next few weeks, the board and nominating committee will be reaching out to all church members for suggestions of people to serve on MVUC's ministerial search committee. So please be on the lookout for an email or phone call about this and reach out to the board or nominating committee if you have any questions. Some of you have already heard from the board and nominating committee. Some of you will soon. On January 15th, and our second announcement that is, on January 15th, join our sibling congregation, the UU Congregation of Fairfax, and their panel of speakers to learn about critical race theory, the politics around the topic in Northern Virginia and across the nation, and reinforce the understanding of why learning accurate, inclusive history is good for students and our communities. There's more information about how to do this. It's an online event, including how to register in our weekly email, so look out for that. Lastly, please continue to look to those emails, to your phones, to our website for continued updates about worship and other church happenings. We continue to monitor the pandemic and are making decisions about the safest way for us to gather. Currently, that's for virtual worship. We hope to return to in-person and virtual worship soon. If you are ever in need of the support our community can provide, just let us know. I invite you now to take a deep breath with me as we enter into this time of worship.
Good morning. My name is Glenn Sheffield. Our chalice lighting this morning is by Catherine St. Little flame, light the tender kindling of our souls, and soon a roaring blaze shall be of warmth and love and community. From this little spark, may a fire of passion spread from heart to heart and light our way, sweet spirit, and light our way.
Good morning. Please join us in singing hymn 1028 from your teal hymnal or from your screen.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Our covenant. I invite you now as we unite our voices to speak aloud the covenant of our community. These words are both known within our heart and are displayed upon your screen. Love is the teaching of this church. The quest of truth is its daily task, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve life in community, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony. This is our covenant with each and with all.
Good morning, it's Miss Ann. And this morning in worship, we're talking about what happens when you make good choices and bad choices. In some religions, they believe if you make good choices, then you'll be rewarded after you die because you'll go to heaven, a place where only good things happen forever and ever. They also believe that if you make bad choices, you could be punished by going to hell, which is a place that you could go after you die where all bad things happen. But Unitarian Universalists don't believe in hell. So, what do we believe about how good and bad choices are made? Well, I found a wonderful story in one of our curriculum, Tapestry of Faith, 6th grade program, Amazing Grace. This is a Jataka tale, and I'd like to share it with you. I want to introduce it to you using a painting. Look at this. In this painting, I think I see that one person is more important than all the others. Can you see that? How do you know? I'm thinking that the person on the platform who's all dressed in gold is the most important person. And I see that all the other people on the ground seem to be dressed the same. They have head coverings on and they're shirtless. It's almost like a uniform. I wonder who wears uniforms. Well, firemen wear uniforms. They don't look like firemen. I'm wondering if these are the students, and that is the teacher, because they're in a walled area, almost like a school maybe, and we know that a lot of Jataka tales that take place in India are about Buddha or Buddhist teachers and their students. Now this painting is not of the Jataka tale that I'm going to tell you. It's another story, but I think you can learn a lot about the culture that these tales come from by looking at it. In our story, the difference between this painting and the story I'm going to tell are that the school in the story is very poor. This doesn't look like a poor school to me. Does it look poor to you? Why not? In our story, the school is very poor and it's falling apart. It needs a lot of repairs. So the teacher tells the students that in order to get enough money, they should go out and take things that they can find in the town that they can then sell and use that money to fix up the school. He says it would be wrong to take from poor people. So make sure you only steal from rich people and make sure no one is looking. Well, the students started to talk about how they might go about taking things. Maybe they'll go at night so as not to be observed. And they started talking about specific rich people that they might visit to take things. But one student stood aside. He wasn't talking with the other ones and he looked very sad. And the teacher said, "Why are you so sad? Are you not going to go out and do as I ask?" And the student said, "I would like to do as you ask, but I cannot." And the teacher asked him why. And he said, "Well, I cannot do it while no one is looking. Other people won't be there to see me steal, but I will be there and I will see that I'm stealing." The teacher hugged the student and said, "You've learned exactly what I hoped you would learn. That you know if you're making a good choice, if you can feel it inside yourself." And this is what Unitarian Universalists believe as well. They believe that you don't need to be punished or rewarded. You know when you're making the right decision by looking inside yourself. This is a story that comes from the Buddhist traditions in India, and that's another part of Unitarian Universalism, that we believe that ours is not the only culture that has important information or important stories. I've enjoyed telling this story and seeing you today, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday online for another story for all ages.
sharing our plate offering. Mount Vernon Unitarian Church continues to share the plate with committed organizations that you, our members, have chosen. During the month of January, our offering is being shared with Neighborhood Health, a local nonprofit whose mission is to improve health and advance health equity in Alexandria, Arlington, and Fairfax by providing high-quality primary care regardless of ability to pay. We are a community that invites spiritual and material generosity from our members and friends. I give because I know the funding goes to important causes in the community, such as Neighborhood Health, Frog Pond, and the Katie Tyson Fund. It also supports excellent programs and leaders like Ann Richards with Lifespan Spiritual Growth and Mark Zimmerman's music program. There are many others that we don't have time to list, but they help operationalize such an important, progressive, and welcoming community. I invite this gathered community to offer whatever you are most comfortable with in spirit and financial generosity for the mission of our church community. If you would like to write and mail a check for the offering, please make it to MVUC and in the memo line indicate how you would like it to be used. You can also follow the link in the chat box to make a one-time or recurring payment. We are so grateful for your donation.
I welcome you into our time of quiet reflection and then spoken meditation. Take a moment to prepare your body and your mind for this time. Get those wiggles out. Get comfortable wherever you are. Take a deep breath or two. We'll begin with silent reflection, followed by our spoken words. Join me in the silence. Our words today come from the Reverend Howard Thurman. This is called, I Want to Be Better. He writes, the concern which I lay bare before God today is my need to be better. I want to be better than I am in my most ordinary day-by-day contacts. With my friends, with my family, with my casual contacts, with my business relations, with my associates in work and play. I want to be better than I am in the responsibilities that are mine. I am conscious of many petty resentments. I am conscious of increasing hostility towards certain people. I am conscious of the effort to be pleasing for effect, not because it is a genuine feeling on my part. I am conscious of a tendency to shift to other shoulders burdens that are clearly my own. I want to be better in the quality of my religious experience. I want to develop an honest and clear prayer life. I want to develop a sensitiveness to the will of God in my own life. I want to develop a charitableness towards my fellows that is greater even than my most exaggerated pretensions. I want to be better than I am. I lay bare this need and this desire before God in the quietness of this moment. Amen.
Would you turn in your gray hymnals, please, to number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song. Words are also available on your screen. My life flows on in endless song, a lover's lamentation. I hear the from singing. What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth, it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love prevails in heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? To prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing?
The reading today is called What We Require by Reverend Barbara Merritt. I am one of those people who love to make New Year's resolutions. Why not create a vital, remodeled persona, new and improved? Just write down all the things you want to accomplish, all the projects you want to complete, all the character improvements you want to make, and all the skills you want to master. At the start of a new year, it seems reasonable that resolutions would carry extra momentum. January feels like an especially auspicious time to become the person I've always wanted to be. If I write it down, surely I'll be able to keep my desk neat, my home well organized, and no thank you note will go unwritten. Surely this is the year that the houseplants and the garden will not be neglected. I'll find more time to play with my kids, my friends, and my husband. I'll read more books and watch less TV. I'll exercise more and eat fewer desserts. The fantasy life contained in your average New Year's resolution is rich and sweet. It starts with the premise that thinking of an ideal self will increase the likelihood that you will be transformed. Resolutions are also aesthetically satisfying. They give the appearance of order and control. They allow you to picture yourself without flaws, limitations, or setbacks. How could the new improved model ever feel the kind of fear, inadequacy, and need that the old self has structured its life upon? My favorite delusion embedded in a list of resolutions is the illogical but stubborn belief that only more effort is required for a better life. No real change of heart is needed. Just do what was never worked before. Only do it more. Try harder, work harder. This is music to the ears of all of us who try to defy gravity by pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps. Some of us believe that we can earn love and approval. We think that the race belongs to the swift. No matter what Jesus said, we secretly are convinced that the first will be first and the last will be last. The word resolution in my thesaurus reveals the shadow side of our best laid plans. To be resolved includes being relentless, self-willed, and obstinate. To be resolved means to set one's jaw, to nail one's colors to the mast, to burn one's bridges, to stop at nothing. It also means to be rigid, inflexible, hell-bent, and like a bulldog, to take the law into one's own hands. What I admire about religion is its stubborn refusal to accommodate those foolish illusions. Religion, while honoring human effort and inviting our firm resolve to be the best human beings we are capable of being, insists that we need to experience what it means to be loved and to receive grace. What we require will come to us effortlessly. Methild of Magdeburg's words need to go right beside my New Year's resolutions. Effortlessly love flows from God to humanity. As the source strikes the note, humanity sings. The Holy Spirit is our harpist, and all strings which are touched in love must sound.
A few years ago, when my family and I lived in California, I got a notice from the insurance company that we used for our cars and our house. It said they were canceling our house policy. Or rather, canceling the one we had, and they were happy to offer us a new one at a similar rate. The new one, though, would not insure us in the case of fire. I want to repeat that because I had to read the letter several times for that to sink in. They would insure our house, but not if it burned down. Now, I don't know if I need to go in depth about this, but that's one of the things I'm most concerned about with a house, especially when we were living, as we were at the time, in Northern California with increasing wildfires. So perhaps it shouldn't have been given that information, but for me this was very, very unexpected. I don't expect my home to burn down, but I know that it could happen. Of course, we live with a chance of the unexpected every day. Some of it is bad or scary. Our house burning down, a car wreck, a medical diagnosis, getting COVID-19. And of course, some of the unexpected is good. Running into a friend out on a walk, or getting a present from a friend or family member, or finding a $20 bill tucked away in the pants of the pocket that you had forgotten about. So how do we deal with the unexpected in our lives? Well, back to this home insurance thing. I learned later that this was happening to quite a few California homeowners, that there were homes in high or moderate risk areas that were having their insurance policies canceled. Thousands, tens of thousands of homes we're talking about here. Now, I did what you do in these situations. I called my agent, trying to stay calm, and she assured me that we would fix this. Now, the company that had been insuring us was a subsidiary of her company, and she said from previous experience that they were not likely to change their minds about this, but that we could do something else. We could get bids from other providers. And she did. And a couple weeks later, we had a new insurance policy. We were covered at essentially the same cost. All is well. But is it? I mean, if our house had burned down, either through natural causes, that is wildfire, or through something we did, the new insurance would cover it, subject to how long and how much the insurance ended up really covering, of course. But in any case, our lives would be vastly affected. Replacing the monetary cost of that loss would scarcely be a beginning, really. Fire insurance is not enough, it seems to me. And stay with me here on that point. Now, I often disagree with conservative evangelical Christian preachers. I doubt that comes as any surprise to you. So the times when we do occasionally agree on something, I find that really interesting. And here's one of them, I think. There's an old saying that I tend to agree with them about, that religion is more than just fire insurance. That is, if you are being good, going to church, doing whatever you're supposed to be doing, just so that you will not burn in the fires of hell, assuming you even believe in that, which I don't. If you do those things just to avoid hell, then you're not really religious. Rather, you're making a long-term insurance contract. I'll be good, and in return, I won't get punished. Insurance is what we get to deal with things that we hope will never happen. We pay, making a small bet each month, essentially, just in case something terrible happens. Now, there are, of course, many people who approach religion in this way. Every Sunday spent in a pew for them is a little bet, a little insurance against the prospect of hell, perhaps, or against feelings of guilt about what they're doing in the rest of their week, if they don't feel good about those decisions. I happen to believe that religion, at least done well, does offer us something. Something to deal with the unexpected, the tragic, or the simply awful. But it's not some future insurance payout. Rather, we offer this, a chance to think about things that really matter, to explore them with others, to practice what it means to go deep, to strengthen your resolve, to widen your compassion, to anchor your soul. What does Unitarian Universalism, our faith, offer if not fire insurance, after all? The answer is plenty. First, our Universalist heritage assures us that there is no eternal torment waiting for any of us. The Universalist preacher Hosea Ballou liked to relate a story, one I often tell, one you may have even heard from me before. He and another preacher, the other preacher being of the fire and brimstone variety, were riding between towns on the preaching circuit. They preached at the same churches in sort of a circuit, hence the name. The other preacher said, "Brother Ballou, I know you don't believe in hell, is that right?" And Ballou said, yes, that his universalism proclaimed that there was no such punishment waiting. And the other preacher said, "If I didn't believe in the fires of hell, what would there be to stop me from hitting you over the head and stealing all your belongings right now?" Ballou said, "If you were a universalist, the idea wouldn't even occur to you." So yes, universalism assures us that whatever happens, if anything, after our deaths, it won't be eternal fires or punishments, and that moreover, we're all going to be together in it. More than one universalist has noted that if we're spending eternity together, then right now is probably a pretty good time to start practicing getting along here, which is easier said than done. It means I have to find a way to get along with people I hate and detest and disagree about all sorts of things with. Does that mean convincing them of my way of thinking? Does that mean finding a way to coexist peacefully despite our differences? Does that mean something else I can't yet imagine? All of those things, maybe? I don't know. But I suspect that it will not be easy. And I know that the sooner we get started, the better. Now, our Unitarian heritage gives us a bit of hope on that front. It assures us that through effort and reason, we can work to make things better. We can't know what will happen, sure, but we can prepare and ready ourselves. We can improve our communities too in the meantime. What does that look like? It means learning, including things that might be uncomfortable. It means hard growth and stretching ourselves to be more and different than we have been. It means challenging ourselves to be more, to do more than we have before. It means being open to change, to the challenge of preparing for an uncertain but relentless future. And that's exciting, but also a little scary. I'd like to think that some of our youngest community members can give us a vision of how to do this. Not just in this community, but in all UU congregations. I'm always proud of OWL, that is, Our Whole Lives, the comprehensive and age-appropriate sexuality education program that we offer in our congregations in conjunction with the United Church of Christ. This congregation offers it too. In fact, we're talking about offering it this spring because we haven't in a while. Now, if you've never experienced OWL, I want to say something. It's often called a sexuality education program, and that's true, but that's only a part of it. Yes, there is information about sex, again, age appropriate, about body parts, about reproduction, but that's only a part. It's also about health and relationships and consent and what it means to be a healthy, compassionate individual. So OWL stuff is another way that we can prepare for the unexpected, or at least the not yet experienced. It shows us that we can learn. Our tradition has a long history of teaching, of learning, of curiosity, and of believing that more information is better than less. With Our Whole Lives, we offer information. We offer a safe place to discuss and explore real, important things. So what Unitarian Universalism offers is not fire insurance, no. But we offer information. We offer exploration. We offer support. We offer a community in which to learn and practice resilience. In short, we offer a place to grow amazing, fully human people. Along these lines, James Luther Adams, the prominent theologian, UU theologian of the last century, famously said that church is the place where we get to practice being human. And this, I think, is what he meant, that this is the place where we learn and deepen what it means to be in relationship. That this is the place where we strengthen and deepen our minds and souls. That this is the place where we are pushed to confront new truths, to repair old hurts, to move bravely into the future. Because religion is not fire insurance, my friends, but so much more than that. May each of us, and all of us together, be willing to go deep, to stretch, to support one another. And may it be so.
Would you join us in singing number 134, Our World is One World? Can be found in your hymnal, on your screen, or in your orders of service. Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rains that fall. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affects us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate, we make a bridge or wall.
Extinguishing the Chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we gather together again.
Our benediction today comes from the Reverend Anya Somler-Michael. She writes, "When faced with a challenge such as this, we can turn toward one another, or we can turn against. We can ignore the cries of our neighbors, or we can let them cry into the arms of our witness. We can respond with indifference to systemic injustice, or we can commit to its undoing. Good souls' tales will be told of how we responded when this particular hell was visited upon our earth. Let us know, let it be said by generations to come, that when the pain of our separation was revealed, we moved closer to the promised land of beloved community. Our worship is ended, and our service begins."
Hi, Jan.
Hi.
Catherine Tobin, how are you? Good to see you.
Okay. I can't see you yet, but I'm working on it.
Oh, you know what? It's my fault.